Let's talk food and wine in Tonia's kitchen. Here is Tonia King.
Joining me today is cookbook author Heidi Herman. Today we're talking about Hidden Vegetables, your brand new book. How are you, Heidi?
I am well, thank you. How are you doing today?
Pretty good, pretty good. Tell us, is this your first book?
It is not. No, I've been writing for about 10 years. This is my second cookbook, but I've also written in a couple of other genres, and I just really enjoy sharing different stories and now sharing more recipes.
Great. So have you been cooking a long time? Have you been doing chef work and coming up with culinary masterpieces, so to speak, for a while?
Well, I wouldn't say chef work and probably not masterpieces.
It's interesting that you called it Hidden Vegetables. Give me the background on that.
My mother was from Iceland and she did not make a lot of vegetables when I was growing up. She didn't grow up with them herself, didn't really learn to like them. And so I never really learned to like them. So as an adult, I just understood the importance of eating my vegetables. But by then, I just didn't have the taste for it. So I really started this process as a way for me, myself, to get more nutrition while not actually tasting my vegetables because I still didn't like them.
So were you like forced to eat broccoli as a kid or something?
No, in a way that would have been so much better because I would have developed a taste for it or found a way around it. But no, as a kid, my mother she'd serve potatoes or corn. The most exotic thing I ever ate as a child was green peas.
I guess vegetables weren't a really big thing in your upbringing.
Not at all. No. No, I never learned to eat salad or, even as I came into adulthood and started working, my first job was in sales. And on occasion, I had to take clients out to lunch. And that actually was a little embarrassing because, I always decline the salad and I'd leave whatever vegetables on my plate. And I was pretty much a meat only. Potatoes were about the most I would do it in vegetables.
There are some really interesting and delicious looking recipes in this book. So, did you just start cooking and start exploring yourself with vegetables?
Yes, a little bit. I've always loved to cook. I've always loved cookbooks. My strength originally started out in cookies and pastries and muffins and that type of thing. And it took me a while to get into main dishes and side dishes. The first recipes that I actually started experimenting with were the ones that I was most comfortable with, like muffins. So I found a recipe where everybody was on this big kick of cauliflower, riced cauliflower or cauliflower flour.
Right.
And to me, it still had a whole lot of cauliflower flavor to it. It's like, great, this is so nutritious. So what can I do with this that I'm still not going to taste it?
Right.
um, so I'm looking at it and thinking, oh, okay. So I tried it in muffins and I put it in my banana muffins. And I found out two things real quick. First off, and I didn't want to ruin the entire batch just in case it was awful. So I put cauliflower flour in half my muffins one morning. The first thing I realized is that those muffins were so much lighter and fluffier than the rest.
Ah,
It was
interesting.
interesting. Yeah, but that's kind of one of the characteristics of cauliflower. It does tend to rise up like that, but it still had kind of that flavor to it. And also, as my mom pointed out, cauliflower can make you a little gassy. I did a little bit of research on that, and I discovered if you add ginger to it, that does counteract that a little bit.
Now that's interesting. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, so I tried it. And the side benefit of that also is ginger has a very nice flavor that overwhelms the cauliflower flavor a little bit, but it blends very nicely with banana.
Interesting. So let's talk about a recipe that you might have developed from those findings.
Cauliflower banana muffins are one that I do have in the cookbook, and I personally make them quite often. We really enjoy them in our house. A third a cup unsalted butter, melted, three large bananas, three-quarters cup of sugar, one egg, a teaspoon each of baking powder, baking soda, half teaspoon each of salt and ginger, 1.5 cups of flour, and then a half cup of riced cauliflower. And then you can add the pecans or walnuts if you like. You can leave those out. And it really is one of those very forgiving recipes that you can put the ingredients in order, or you can pretty much dump it all in at the same time.
That makes it easy.
It does. I tend to use a pastry cutter myself because it's an easy way to mash up the bananas.
Yeah.
And then I use that to add in the butter and the eggs and all the ingredients until I get to the flour. And then once I start adding the dry ingredients, then I switch to just a spoon and then I mix it up that way. And then that way I can also spoon it into my muffin tins very easily.
Yeah, they sound moist. Are they moist?
They are definitely, because that's the other thing that the cauliflower does give to them, because there's so much moisture in the cauliflower flour to begin with. It's part of what helps it makes it rise and then keep that moisture to it. So if you're using like a whole wheat flour or something stone ground that tends to be a lot denser and heavier,
Hmm.
this cauliflower helps offset that. So it gives you that fluffy factor back.
Interesting. Sounds delicious. Can't wait to try it. I was going through some of your sauces, spreads, and jellies, and something that caught my eye was carrot jelly. You don't usually see carrot jelly. Tell me how you make it and why you decided to include it in the book.
The carrot jelly was one that was my second jelly actually, because the first vegetable jelly I experimented with was beetroot. And that was just a complete accident because we had gone to an auction, and as part of a larger box of canned goods, home canned goods, there was probably a gallon of beet juice that I had to figure out what to do with. And when I added it into my strawberry preserves, it turned out fantastic and I loved it. So I thought, oh, what other vegetables can I experiment with? And carrots are something that is very popular to juice your carrots and have that added into a smoothie or something like that.
Oh,
So I thought,
yeah.
well, if juice works with other fruits to make jelly, why can't it work with carrot juice to make it? Because you see a lot of recipes for carrot cake jam, but I don't care for all that the sweetness of the pineapple that's in
Hmm.
a lot of those.
Yeah.
So yeah, I experiment with that. And this is definitely goes along with the theme of these are recipes for adults. And it's not just an rehashed version of hiding vegetables for kids, because that carrot jelly has some brandy in there and
Yeah.
some
Tell me how
lemon
to make it.
zest. Yeah. So we've got 2 cups of carrot juice, and we mix that with 2 1/3 cups of sugar. Now, after the first time you make it, you can definitely adjust that sugar, because sometimes there's a little sweetness factor to it that you need to adjust. Then
Sure.
you add your sugar gel to it, just like normal jelly making. Let it boil for 5 minutes, and then you're going to remove it from the heat. Add in 2 tablespoons of brandy, tablespoon of fresh lemon zest, and half a cup of lemon juice.
Mmm.
I know, so
Sounds
good.
like a great combination.
Oh, it's zesty and tangy, but that brandy just kind of gives it a nice little depth that you're not having this overwhelming, wow, it's healthy carrot juice.
Oh, right. So then you're cooking that down, and are you canning that, or are you just putting it in your fridge as is?
Well, if you put it in the fridge as is, you have 2 to 3 weeks to go ahead and use it up. Otherwise, you can water bath can it, so that way you'll extend that shelf life. But
Sure.
yeah, it's going to be just your standard 1/4 inch headspace and water bath for 5 minutes, adjusted to your altitude, of course.
Sounds
And
like a really interesting recipe.
yeah, you should definitely try it at least once. Um, that's what I like to do, experimenting with recipes. Sometimes I'll come across one myself where it's like, wow, that seems interesting.
Well,
So I'll always try it at least once as written
oh
and then
yeah.
adjust.
What's another one of your favorites that's easy to make?
Personally, the Salisbury steak, it's a main
Really?
dish. We make it very often. And it's one of those beautiful recipes. It comes together in about 30, 35 minutes. It's not all that complicated and it is so good. So it just kind of taking your basic ground beef. I've got a pound of ground beef. Oh my goodness, what am I going to do with it tonight?
Right, right.
Um, but that one is just using a basic eggs, breadcrumbs, granulated garlic, ketchup, dried mustard, Worcestershire, beef bouillon powder. And I personally am a big fan of flavored vinegars. So I have a whole selection, but you can use like your kitchen bouquet or something along those lines to kind of add a little depth both to your meat and to the gravy.
Sure.
I tend to use a hickory flavored vinegar because it doesn't add any sugar.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. So then how easy is it then to put it together? And how long are you cooking it?
Well, you're adding all your ingredients with the meat to spice those up, and then you're going to form them into patties,
Hmm.
cook them in a little olive oil and butter, stovetop. So that would take, about 8 to 10 minutes to brown those and cook them clear through. Then you're going to take those aside and leaving all the oils there in the pan, add chopped onions, adding all the ingredients for the sauce, which is going to be your beef broth, cornstarch, Worcestershire sauce, ketchup, a little more of your hickory vinegar or other seasoning sauce, a garlic clove diced up, and 1 cup of pureed spinach.
Oh,
You're going to mix,
interesting.
yeah, you're going to mix that together and make your sauce. And having that pureed spinach in there, it's a nice thickener. And since you're going with nice brown sauce anyway, your green kind of gets hidden in there. So your eyes don't see it as chunks. And you're not going to taste that flavor because it's going to get overwhelmed with our nice fresh garlic and onions and Worcestershire and some of these other stronger spices that we have going. And then you put your meat back in there, simmer it all together while you make some mashed potatoes or mashed sweet potatoes or whatever side you want to go with that. And 30, 35 minutes, you've got a nice supper.
That really sounds delicious. All the different flavors sound like they really meld well together.
Well, yeah, this is something it's been about 5 years in process. That's always something that I try to bring together when I'm working with a vegetable that, to be honest, I don't like the flavor of.
Right.
What can I do to blend it with something so it either meshes together or gets overwhelmed? And some of them you can't really overwhelm them. Spinach and kale, once they're pureed, they do get pretty easy. Others, like Brussels sprouts, I had never been successful at finding anything that will actually overwhelm the flavor of a Brussels sprout.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah. So instead of trying to change it, I sort of leaned into it. And that one I pair with a little honey with diced up Brussels sprouts and walnuts. And then I add that to a long grain rice, a wild rice. So when you're having that, it's got this little bit of sweetness and the crunch, because nothing you can do to a Brussels sprout is going to get rid of that crunch. right?
Exactly.
But with walnuts in there, it kind of lends itself to that little bit of a nutty flavor that you get with the Brussels sprouts and that crunch. So it kind of tricks your brain into thinking, hey, it's all part of the same thing, and it doesn't stand out quite so much.
That sounds delicious. Now, I got to ask you. So, your book is called Hidden Vegetables, and I'm looking at the cover, and it's all donuts. Am I looking at that correctly? Am I seeing donuts? And how did the donuts fit in with the hidden vegetables?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, I
And
love
that's
it.
what
It looks great, but I was like, tell me more about that.
at first glance, you would think they're red velvet, but they're not. They're beet.
Ah,
Yeah, I use a pureed beet in with what originally was a basic baked vanilla donut and altered it to bring in pureed beets. And then once they're baked, they have a just a fabulous light vanilla type flavor. And you just don't taste that overwhelming root beet type of flavor in it anymore.
that's pretty amazing because I know many people that don't like the taste of beets, and these look really beautiful. And if you can mask the flavor and still get the nutrients from the beets, that's a winner.
It is. It is.
Well, I think it sounds like a great way to incorporate a fun taste of a donut and still get some nutrition. We're talking with cookbook author Heidi Herman. The brand new book is called Hidden Vegetables. Now, tell me how we find you on social media and find the book.
Oh, thank you. Yes, my social media handle is Heidi Herman Author. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Threads. The book is available at online retailers like Barnes and Noble, Amazon, or you can find it through the publisher's website at Hekla, HEKLA publishing.com.
Sounds great. Heidi, thank you for taking some of your time today to chat with me about your new book. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. It was fun being here.
Thanks for tuning in. We hope you'll subscribe to this podcast as we continue to take you around the world of food and wine on Tonia's Kitchen.